What's up, guys? Darkkefka. I hope you've been enjoying my movie so far. Okay. As some of you are aware, I recently acquired 15,000 subscribers. Okay, thank you very much. I said I was gonna make a special movie for that. Okay, sorry that I'm late on this. Okay, I just been doing some other things. I just kind of forgot all about it. Okay, I'm gonna do that right now, but I'm actually pushing 16,000. Okay, so of course this is nothing compared to some of the other popular LPs out there, and you know who I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, the first question I got was how did I get into role-playing games, okay? And I'm gonna combine this with another question, which was my first Final Fantasy game, okay? I got into role-playing games back when I got into role-playing games when I was in high school, I believe, because I was a Mario fan, okay? You know, I do like Mario games, of course. And I heard about this cool Mario game called Super Mario RPG, okay? And I just checked it out. I played it, and I loved it so much that I stole it from Blockbuster and I never gave it back. I like I really love the turn-based battles, and you know, the music in the game, and all the exploring, all the venturing, and all the little conversations. It was just fun. I loved how there was like a super boss that was harder than Smithy and stuff like that, you know. And this leads into how I got into role-playing games. I mean, how I got to Final Fantasy games. You know how when you beat collects in the little hidden place, the bad music goes da 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 da, and I remember that because I was watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami back there when just before the new episodes finally came out. You know how they used to rerun season 1 and season 2 all the time with Raditz and stuff like that, and they was reviewing Final Fantasy X on the commercials. And at the end of the review, they played the Victor fan for Final Fantasy X. I said to myself, hey, I heard that before.
Toonami gives Final Fantasy X an 8 out of 10. Utter wizardry.
And then, when I got back to work, I asked my friend, I said, hey, what does Super Mario RPG and Final Fantasy have in common? He said, he said Super Mario RPG is basically a Final Fantasy with the Mario characters. He said if you like that game, then you'll like Final Fantasy. He told me if I want to get into Final Fantasy, I need to play Final Fantasy VII first. So Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy game, and I played that when I was like 21 years old. I'm 28 now, and I just absolutely loved it. I really loved it. I loved every second of it. After that, I played Final Fantasy X. Because you know that was actually the game that influenced me to play the Final Fantasy series. I played Final Fantasy X, then I went down to Final Fantasy 8, then I went to 10-2, then I went down to 4, and then I went to Final Fantasy 6, and I haven't played 9 yet, and I haven't played 1, 2, or 3. I didn't play 11 back then because I couldn't afford the little 99 hard drive thing, okay. And then of course I played 13 when it came out, and Final Fantasy 4 DS, stuff like that. Okay, so this is how I got into the role-playing series. Okay. An interesting question I had from somebody was some of you are aware of the fact that Riku and Vanille are my two favorite Final Fantasy girls. Alright. Someone asked me what would I do if they were both real and I could take them on a date. If they were real and I could take them on a date, I would well, let's start with Vanille first. Vanille, I would probably just you know, spend a whole week with her in the on the Bahamas. I'm not really too good with the ladies, unfortunately. I'm working on this. I would probably take Vanilla to the Bahamas and just spend like a whole week with her there. Okay, and anything we do after that is between me and her. Riku, if she was real, I have to give her a ride home. Why am I doing this? Because she's only 15 years old, unfortunately. Now Final Fantasy X did come out in 2000. What year was that? 2001. Which was 10 years ago. So if you want to be literal, she would be 25 by now. So if Riku was real, she would be 25 now, and I'm 28, so she would be legal if she was a real person. But unfortunately, she's 15 years old, so I would have to take her home because of that. Because I am 28 years old, and I would go to jail for a very long time. But if Riku was real and if she was legal, then use your imagination, okay? Okay.
Oh, honest?
Ouch!
See ya. Shobaku Shacho!
Another question I had was what inspired me to join YouTube. I have an account at cosplay.com. I was chatting with one of my friends who cosplayed Lynn, okay, and we was talking about Sailor Moon, and she told me that I can catch up with Sailor Moon by going to YouTube. And I checked out YouTube and I saw all kind of good movies. I saw some people like making movies of their own games, stuff like that, and I started doing it. So that's how I got to YouTube, okay? And then speaking of which, another question I had was how did my videos become so popular? For starters, I really need to apologize to all the guys on GameFAQs on the Final Fantasy X board on GameFAQs, okay? Because my videos got popular mainly because of Final Fantasy X, the Dark Aeons, and the No Spear Grid. But truth is, I had a lot of help from those guys, and there's like this guide on GameFAQs that like helps you defeat all the Dark Aeons without the Spear Grid, stuff like that. Speaking of which, yes, I'm still working on the No Spear Grid Dark Anima. She's very hard. Okay, this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought, but hang in there. Your patience will be rewarded eventually, I hope. Okay. So yeah, it started out. I think I got popular vids because of the Final Fantasy Dark Aeons, because I was like one of the first people to upload the Dark Aeons on YouTube. Okay. Of course, there are a lot of them there now, but you know, I think I wasn't the first, but I was one of the very first people to do that. Okay, so I have no idea why, but some people just consider me just a god at that game. I mean, it's not hard to train in Final Fantasy X, but my stats were so high that a lot of people actually thought I was hacking it. No, it's very easy to bring all your stats to 255 and do like 9,000, 99,999 every time. It's not that hard. So I think another thing that might have did it was my my Resident Evil movies. A lot of you have seen my Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 1 movie versions. I made one for Resident Evil 4, but it was flagged and deleted, unfortunately. I'll probably do another one, okay? But it took me a long time to make that, so, alright. I don't know what series started to bring my subscribers up, but once again, 15,000 is nowhere near some of the other subscribers, some of the other YouTubers who have like 200,000 and stuff like that. You know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about, okay. But he was the person who inspired me to do LPs. His Paper Mario LP was just really funny, and I really enjoyed it. And I love Paper Mario. I really enjoyed watching his Paper Mario LPs. That was very funny. I enjoyed every second of it. Okay. An interesting question I got was most of y'all know who my favorite female characters are. So who are my favorite male characters? Favorite male character, I say first of all I'm gonna start with Squall. I just like Squall. I don't really have any reasons. I just like them. Okay. Vaughn's pretty cool. Okay. Male characters. Rufus from Street Fighter 4. Rufus from Street Fighter 4. He's just such a bad. I like Rufus. And Yun, Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. Snake, of course. There's so many, but I like male characters too. But you know, there's just so many. But those are the only ones I can think of right now. Okay. And of course, my username is Kefka for a reason. Least favorite Pokemon character. This one's easy. Paul from the anime. The last thing I saw was when Ash acquired Chimchar from Paul, so I'm way behind on the anime. And when is the original voice actor of Ash gonna return? She has a little panel thing on YouTube from Anime Boston, and she did an imitation of a voice as Ash. It was just so cool. So she needs to return. But yeah, Paul is my least favorite character in Pokemon because he is such a butthole. So, but I haven't watched any anime since any Pokemon anime since Ash acquired Chimchar from Paul, so I'm way behind on that. I need to pick up on that. Okay. Favorite Final Fantasy protagonist is another question I got. Naturally, this is going to be Terra from Final Fantasy VI. But if you don't want to count females, I say Squall, hands down. Actually, yeah, I say Squall is my favorite Final Fantasy protagonist if you don't count Terra, since I do love women. Okay. Least favorite Final Fantasy character. Okay, this really shouldn't be surprising since Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy game. The Sephiroth clone. The Sephiroth clone is my most hated character in Final Fantasy video games, period. And it should be clearly obvious why. I don't need to explain that, do I? Okay. I mean, I hate this scene so much that this is actually the only time I ever cried at a video game. How many? Be honest here. How many of us actually shed a few tears out of our eyes after watching that shit? Let's be real here. Another question I got was, do I plan to do Final Fantasy 12 on the DS? You know, Final Fantasy 12, the Rebel Wings. I've only played the first few levels of that game. I didn't like it too much, but since it is a sequel to Final Fantasy 12, my second favorite game, actually my favorite game tied with Final Fantasy 10, I'll pick it up one day and I might do LP on it if I enjoy it. Okay. Another question I had was, who's my favorite Cid from Final Fantasy? Cid from Final Fantasy 4. I haven't played all the Final Fantasy games. To my knowledge, this is the only Cid that actually battles. His theme is pretty cool, and he's always you know helping out the party when they need him, and he's quite hilarious. So yes, Cid from Final Fantasy 4 is my favorite Cid. Okay. What attracts my attention in the Final Fantasy series? The hot girls, of course. Tifa, Yuna, Riku, Vanille, Ash. Just kidding. Okay. Naturally, yeah, this is one thing that attracted me to it. I'm pretty sure a lot of guys are attracted to the hot girls in Final Fantasy. But seriously, I love the turn-based battles. I love the battle system. I love the music, all the different weapons. I like the limit breaks, the summon monsters. In Final Fantasy X, I love the voice acting. I love all the side quests, all the super bosses. Some of them are pretty difficult. You know, all the adventuring. You know, the length of the game. You know, it's most of them will keep you busy for a very, very long time. And the music, of course. I just love Final Fantasy, just about everything there is about it. I love it. Okay. Okay, some more personal questions here. What job do I do? Because I don't seem to like my job very much. I am a GRS at public supermarkets. My job is to make sure that all the counts are correct, so we don't get too much back stock and stuff like that. Make sure all the shelves are stocked. I used to be a stocker, but now I'm a GRS. I used to work at Coca-Cola, but I quit that job. So. The main reason why I hate my job because I work at weekend and my job gets harder and harder and harder, and I just wish I had, you know, my weekends free. Okay. What's my middle name? My middle name is Lewis and Edward. I have two middle names. My first middle name is from my grandfather on my dad's side. My second name is my grandfather from my mother's side. So I have both my grandfather's name in my middle name. Okay. What's my favorite game console? PlayStation. All of them. Actually, you know what? Screw that. I don't have one because I love all my consoles. I love my Wii. I love my PlayStation 2, my PlayStation 3. I love my Nintendo DS. I love my PSP. I love all of them. I don't have a favorite console. I don't think I can live without either of them. Okay. How big is my family? I don't know. I still have some family members I haven't met. Okay, because I just don't know how big my family is, but it's pretty big. All right. Did I enjoy school when I was in it? Because I said that I wanted to go back. Yes, I was at the VI for a little while. It was pretty fun, you know, and there's actually a lot of people there who's into this hobby. Unfortunately, the VI indicator, they suck. The instructors really suck. They relocated to another location while I was riding the MARTA bus. I got a car now, so that's not a problem. But I didn't register on time. But I don't like the instructors there. They don't know what they're doing. And one of them even told me that I need to find a new hobby. Well, I came here to learn how to make video games. I didn't come here for you to tell me I need to find another hobby. So I enjoy school, but I need to find a better one. And I'd rather find school that you know, changed in the field only to play video games, stuff like that. You know, I didn't know that I had to go through all those core classes first. Not that's a problem, but I'd rather just go ahead and you know, get to the main stuff. You know, why I'm going to school. Say so. And finally, a question I got from a good friend was, do I believe that Square should remake Final Fantasy VII? Yes, you need to remake Final Fantasy VII, okay? You know, this game has a lot of fanboys. You know, people love Tifa and her big boobs. You know, people miss Ares. You know, they want you to, like, remake the game and make, like, side quests that revive Ares or make a way to save Ares. You teased us with that trailer showing what a PlayStation 3 can do if Final Fantasy VII was on it. Yes, with the demonstration of how it will look on PlayStation 3. So yes, you need to remake Final Fantasy VII because we were hoping you would do that. So I mean, why would you tease us like that? But oh well. You guys went through all that trouble to remake Final Fantasy 3 and 4 for the DS, but not Final Fantasy 7. Why? And that's all the questions I have for now. I didn't get a lot of them. If you have any more questions, just post them here in this comment thing, and I'll answer them. All right, see you guys later.